I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody say, I can't beat this game. The players are so loose pre-flop. They call any bet on the flop with any piece. They call too much on the turn. They call too much on the river. And they just always get there. Now, this should be obviously mistaken, right? This shouldn't be something that prevents you from being a game. If players are playing bad, that's good for you. And I feel like I see this constantly. I fall victim to it myself once in a while, where I think to myself, man, that guy he's playing so bad. Like, I can't believe this. But what it really comes down to is, if somebody's playing bad, it means they're making mistakes. And if they're making mistakes and you're doing the right things to capitalize on them, then that makes you money. And if it's not making you money, you're making mistakes. I think what's so interesting about this kind of mentality is that it is fundamentally an excuse. And I think so many things in poker, the way we delude ourselves and the way we try to make ourselves maybe feel better about our results, not winning, whatever, ultimately comes down to excuses and not taking ownership over our own results. When you say somebody's playing so bad that you can't beat them, it doesn't actually make sense. But it's a coping mechanism, right? If we feel that we're not winning and we don't want that to be our fault, right? We don't want to feel like we're doing the wrong things, and ultimately questioning ourselves as players hurts sometimes. And it's sometimes easier to kind of blame it on another player being bad. So I guess, how do we get around this? How do we start to be more realistic about the reasons we're not winning? Because again, if somebody's playing bad, you want that. If they're playing bad, it means they're losing money by doing what they're doing. If they're not losing money by doing it, well, then they might not be bad. You might be making too many mistakes, and it might actually be the right thing for them to be doing, to play loose, to call. Maybe you're paying off too much when they get there. You know, there's a whole host of reasons. Now, maybe what they're doing is bad, and maybe in the short term, they are running really good, and maybe you can't beat them. But that's short-term thinking, right? That's not long-term thinking, and poker's a long-term game. So bringing it back to excuses, I think we have to be honest with ourselves about our own abilities, about the skill of our opponents, evaluating them, and seeing where we fall short. And if we're not falling short, just acknowledging that variance is a thing, and that sometimes you're gonna lose. I think that removes a lot of the negativity surrounding opponents, and whether they're playing good, bad, whatever. At the end of the day, if they're playing bad and you're playing good, you're gonna win. Just only takes time. Just takes time. So be honest with yourself. Be honest about your opponents when you're evaluating them, and don't make excuses. Play better. Play better. Improve your mindset. We're actually coming out with a mental edge course with School of Cards. So if you're running into problems like this, I actually think it's probably a good time to take a step back, focus on your perspective, and maybe check that course out. I'll leave a link down in the description. No pressure, but if you do decide to buy it, it will support me. I get a little bit of a kickback, and I'll be right there with you too. So that's gonna be it for today's Wednesday Wisdom. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video, and tonight for a stream on Twitch. Link down below. Next time.